My name is Rachel Levinson, and I'm really excited to be here because my guest today is the one and only Shannon Waller.
Hi, Rachel. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
One of the biggest questions for a lot of people out there is, well, what if I don't know what I'm passionate about? What if I don't know what my passion is, my purpose, my mission? What if I haven't found it yet? Given the four components of its definition, with passion being one of them and a key one of them, how can unique ability be a tool or a strategy to help people go out there and seize their passion and maybe even discover it for the first time?
It's a great question because I always think of unique ability as sort of the end point. So you raise a really interesting question. And here's the thing about unique ability. Everyone has one. It's as individual as your fingerprint. But not we completely and totally take it for granted. It's that thing we do automatically, and we think it's so easy that everyone else can do it, and everyone else can do it the way that we do it. That is so not the case. We are all incredibly uniquely put together, and so a lot of the seizing your passion has to do with paying attention and not taking it for granted. So I would say that it really takes being alert to what your passion is. Again, it's that thing that you've probably been doing since you were 6. You know, I know people who have been confidants to their friends, to their family. I know people who have given relationship coaching since they were in grade 5, you know, and it's the thing they just automatically do, but they don't appreciate it. And so a lot of it is being willing to look through the lens of the fact that, oh, not everyone else is like me. Not everyone can do what I do with the same amount of ease or skill or just naturalness, if that's a word. So again, I think it's actually in you this moment. You just simply have to pay attention to it and be alert to it. That's really the secret. And certainly the process of discovering your unique ability will completely highlight that. There's one exercise, Rachel, that I want to share that might be really useful for everyone watching, and that is what we call sending out your unique ability letter. And this works, you could substitute the word passion just as easily. And we suggest that people send out a letter. They can say, hey, I'm reading this book, or I'm going through this process, or I'm in this course, and I'm working on figuring out my unique ability, my passion. What do you think is my unique ability? What do you appreciate about me? What do you count on me for? And what's really fascinating about those answers, and it's great to do it by email and do it to 8 to 10 people who've experienced you when you're striving, when you're, working at something. And what's really powerful about it is that we all think that we're sort of hidden and we have this front stage that we give to other people. No, they completely see through us. And things that we thought were sort of common or not special or not obvious, people go, oh, I really count on you to be trustworthy. I count on you for your sense of humor. I count on your ability to always get to the best possible result. I always count on you to simplify really complex situations. The feedback you get from that conversation, that letter, these are things you put away and pull out when you're having a bad day, because they are so rewarding, they're so touching, and who we are is actually incredibly obvious to other people. So using other people as a mirror can be a phenomenal way to get that input. If you're kind of lost in your own head or own thoughts about it, getting feedback from other people will instantly clarify how you're special and unique in the world and how your passion is coming out. So that's takes a little bit of courage to send out the letters. Please do not ask what your faults are. That's a really bad idea. You already know what those are. You don't need anyone to tell you. But these are what's unique and special about you. And be willing to give that information back to them if they want. But that process is a great way to get, again, to use the world as a mirror to reflect back to you. And from that starting point, there's no end to how far you can progress.
So it's really a self-discovery process, and it's using the team, your people around you, to help collaborate with you on learning yourself and really gaining that self-awareness and that self-knowledge so that you can uncover what's already inside of you, which is your unique ability, your unique gift, which you probably just take for granted because it's inside of you, but you don't think of it as this special, unique ability and a skill that you can translate into your life and your career, correct?
I totally agree. And I think for a lot of us, we're taught to work on our weaknesses. you get a whole bunch of A's on a report card, and your parents or someone points out the B or the C and say, hey, what can you do to improve that? So we're kind of culturally, again, some families and school systems are different, but for the most part, we're taught to work on our weaknesses. And I love what Dan says. He says, after a while, when you work on your weaknesses, you have really strong weaknesses, which is totally true. but that can make you fairly blind to what is special and unique and interesting about you. So, because the school system is really interested in putting out cookie-cutter people that can fit into a system. And unique ability is a very different part, and passion is a different conversation. Not everyone's having that conversation. That's why it's so important that you're connecting with people about what is inside them and how do you pull it out. So, yes, I think it's a fascinating conversation, and I think it's important to realize that there are some cultural biases that kind of prevent us, or just we have some blinders on that kind of can keep us from seeing it. Once you start looking for it, it is right there, but you have to know to look for it.
I love that. I'm so happy you brought up that point about the way our culture sort of emphasizes our weaknesses and working on our weaknesses so that we can maybe one day become average, right? Because they want to fit us into a system where everyone is just average. But really, unique ability and seize your passion is all about allowing people to focus on their strengths, to turn them into the superheroes that they are inside. And that is that unique gift, and that is that unique passion, and that is that unique ability. And I just love that part of it. And it's so important to bring into the dialogue, because you're right. We're just wired by our culture to think about, okay, this is something I need to improve upon. And unique ability is about self-improvement, and it is about growth 100%, but it's about growing your unique ability and your strengths rather than your weaknesses, so that you become that superhero that you are.
So yeah, just the key thing is your passion. Without passion, it's not a unique ability. So that makes it an absolutely vital component. Otherwise, it's something else, which I think is just a great connection.